Hey, in this video we're going to learn about how to create multiple copies of pieces, like tokens. So we're going to start by opening the piece drawer and creating a new type. And we're going to call this type a token. And we're going to make it a little bit smaller so that it's smaller than those cards that we see in the layout. Perfect. Now we'll go down and create a new piece. And the piece was added all the way at the bottom of the list. And we'll name this piece point chip. And for the type of the piece, we'll select the type that we just created, the token. Now when we selected the type, it overrode all the properties of this piece with the properties from the type. But we do want to set the image on this piece. So we'll click on the lock to unlock the property. And we'll upload the image that we want to use. Okay, now we have our image. Now our piece is set up, but if we want 30 of these pieces, we don't want to have to create them individually. So what we can do is we can come up here to the number of pieces entry, and we can just type 30 in here. And what that's going to do is it's going to create 30 identical instances of this one piece. Now let's create somewhere to put them in the layout. So we'll create a slot, and slots hold pieces. They are unordered. And we'll want to move the slot over and name it. So we'll name it point container. And then we just drag those chips over into that slot. So by dragging the parent chip, we created 30 copies of that piece inside that slot. Now let's resize the slot a little bit so that it fits the piece better. Okay, now let's see what this looks like when playing the game. So we have our newly created piece. We can drag them around. The game will not allow them to be dropped into the stacks because those are only for cards. However, the cards can actually be added to the slot because slots can hold any type of piece or card. So let's fix that. We already have our slot selected. And now what we can do is edit the limit to user type field and select the token type that we created. So that will only allow tokens to be added to this slot. Now let's also add a slot to the player hand because players need a place to keep their tokens. So by adding a slot to the player field, a copy of the slot will be created for every single player in the game. So we created the slot. We're also going to limit it to the user type. And let's move it over so that it's not on top of the stack that's holding the cards. We'll make the stack a little smaller. And move it to the right. And we can also make the player field slightly larger as well, so that the player icon doesn't come on top of the cards. So now we have our player field nicely laid out. We have a stack for the cards and a slot for the tokens. Now let's take a look and make sure everything's working as expected in the game. So we have our tokens. They can be added to the slot in the player's area. And we can no longer add the cards to the slot as well. So that's all set up the way we want. And as you can see, we can also put the tokens in the other player's slot that was created automatically. Alright, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching.